Hey there, Julia here. Today we are looking at my top 5 pen and ink pairings from the outgoing year. I was very systematic when it came to picking favorites over the year of 2024. If you saw my December currently inked, you saw that I picked a fave from every month based on a ranking that I did at the end of every month and decided to ink them all up in December to sort of refresh my memory. So at the end of December, I did a final rating of the pen, of the ink, and then I added those two together for a pair rating. And that's how I got my top 5. If anything was tied, I just chose between them which one I enjoyed most. But yeah, let's get into it. I think the winner will surprise you because it kind of surprised me. So all of the pens are uninked at this point since I'm into January pens, but we're still going to do like a little swatch and I'll show you the pen. It's going to be a good time. So my number 5 is the Monte Grappa Elmo one, and this is the glossy black finish. And apparently people have some issues with Monte Grappa. I've heard some things, but I just thought that this pen wrote beautifully. And I do want to give credit to the ink as well because it is sort of dependent on the ink and the paper that you use. So this one does have a fine nib, and the ink that got this into the number 5 spot is Sailor Ink Studio 653. And I had this duo inked up in October. I just think this is such a beautiful purple, and it does have some sheen, some bronzy sheen that pops in there once it dries down. My number 4 pick comes to us from April, and that is the Tailored Pen Company's Wildflower pen. And though it doesn't have anything in it right now, no, it had a fine nib in it as well. This is a JoWo compatible nib, so I swap things in and out. But I must say this pen is super light, super comfortable in my hand, and it's just always a joy whenever I pick it up and write with it. And I had this inked up with one of my favorite green inks, Ferris Wheel Press Dancing Time. Just look how gorgeous that ink is. If you're wondering what paper I'm writing on, this is Cosmo Air Light. I have basically run out of space in my 2024 ink journal, but I am going to tip this in some fashion to get it in this 2024 ink journal. Also see that it's just a very beautiful match. My number 3 pick was originally inked up in August, and August was when I had the most pens inked up because of Stationery Fest and just traveling to different pen things, and I wanted to have a lot of pens inked up. So this one was a standout in that large lineup and the large lineup from December, and that is the Leonardo Momento Zero in the Prunia colorway. And this one has an extra fine nib that has been tuned, so it does write really well. The flow is just superb, and it's just a gorgeous colorway. And this was inked up with another Ferris Wheel Press ink. This is Ferris Wheel Press Song of Scarlet. This is not the original bottle that it comes in, but I did have an accident with the smaller bottle. It just like randomly broke or something. And so I saved what I could and put it in this other bottle that I just happened to have empty at the time. And this is just a really gorgeous deep red with a greenish bronze sheen to it. And the sheen really shows up in the writing even with an extra fine nib. Such a pretty match. My number 2 pick, really my number 2 and number 1 pick, it was so hard to decide between them. I almost just debated being like, okay, it's a tie, these two. But I really thought about it. I actually re-inked my number 2 pick near the end of December just to write with it some more because I did write it dry. But it's just a brilliant match. And that is the Esterbrook Esty in Raven. This had the cursive smooth italic nib on it. It doesn't now, but it had the black Raven nib in it with the cursive smooth italic grind from Kirk Spear. And I had this inked up with Diamine Writer's Blood in February. I did run out of my sample of Writer's Blood, but a pen friend and viewer, Jasmine, thank you so much, sent another sample of Writer's Blood. So I am refilled and super thankful. Such a dark and moody match, and the flow with the cursive smooth italic was just so good. Okay, I'm gonna take this out because for my number 1 pick, I want to do a larger swatch here, and I'll show you what the spread ends up looking like in my 2024 ink journal because I did get really nerdy and make a sticker of the number 1 pen to place on top of the swatch. So the number 1 pen and ink pairing of the year, next to all of the pens and inks that I've had inked up this year, comes to us from January's currently inked. This is absolutely the most affordable pen of the bunch, and I don't know what it is about this pen and ink pairing, but I wrote back in January and throughout December pages, and I just enjoyed it so much. And that is the TWSBI Eco in Creme and Rose Gold. This has a fine nib on it, and you've probably seen a TWSBI Eco before, you know, it's a TWSBI Eco. And I need to get some of that ink out of there, huh? But this was inked up with Diamine Walnut from the 2023 Inkvent calendar. And this is just a very gorgeous brown that has a little bit of sheen in it as well. It is very subtle. I'm actually surprised that I don't have a bottle of this walnut ink because I really, really enjoy it. It's like, since we have some ink still hanging out, we might as well. Look at it. So the sticker that I have of this, again, I'll show it to you whenever this all dries down. It's just gonna sit on top of this like that. Maybe, yeah, up higher. But look at the match. And it's not even so much the color match, it's just a good pen and ink match. The flow was just perfection, and I just kept finding myself reaching for this pen above all the other ones that I had inked up through December, which again were all favorites. All right, so I am super excited for another year of great pen and ink pairings. Definitely subscribe for the pen and ink ride this year. Let me know what your favorite pen and ink pairing was for the entire year of 2024 down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and I will leave for you the flip through of this ink journal, which I adored so much. I will leave that for you right here, and I will catch you in the next one.